It's pretty wild when you think about it, how we can just create and understand a seemingly endless number of sentences without even trying. It feels almost like magic. But behind it all, there's an invisible architecture, a hidden set of rules that powers everything we say. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at the hidden architecture of language itself. All right, let's start with this classic sentence from the linguist Noam Chomsky. Colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Just let that sink in for a second. It's total nonsense, right? I mean, ideas can't be green nor colorless for that matter, and they definitely don't sleep. But here's the weird part. It still kind of sounds right, doesn't it? It has the feel of a real sentence, not like a jumbled pile of words like sleep, ideas, colorless, furiously green. So what is going on here? How can our brains process something as both complete gibberish and perfectly structured? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to solve. And the key to this whole mystery, it all comes down to one powerful concept in the study of language: syntax. So what is syntax? Well, you can think of it as the blueprint of our language. The name itself even comes from Greek words that literally mean to arrange together. And that's the key. Syntax doesn't care about meaning, it only cares about order, about the rules of arrangement. It's the system that checks if the words are in the right places, whether they make sense or not. And this slide just nails that idea. On the left, you've got our sentence, colorless green ideas sleep furiously. Think of it like a machine where all the gears are in the right place. It follows the rules of syntax, so the machine works, structurally speaking. But on the right, you've got that word jumble. The gears are all over the place, the structure is broken, and our brains immediately know something is wrong. Okay, so if syntax is a rule book, what are the pieces it's organizing? To really get the blueprint, we've got to get to know the building blocks first. Let's use an analogy here. Imagine language is a giant box of Legos. Every single word is a brick. But, they're not all the same, right? You've got different shapes, different sizes, and each one has a specific job. Syntax is basically the instruction manual that shows you how all those different bricks are supposed to click together. Now, these word bricks fall into two big buckets. First, you have the open classes. These are your nouns, your verbs, your adjectives. This group is always growing. Think about new words that pop up all the time, like binge watch or briz. Then you have the closed classes. These are the functional bits, like pronouns, I, you, or prepositions, of, by. It's a small, fixed set of tools that almost never changes. So let's just do a quick roll call of the main players here. You've got nouns, which are basically names for things. You've got verbs, which are the action words. And you've got adjectives, which, describe the nouns. These are the main content bricks we use to build our ideas. All right, so we've got our different types of bricks. Now let's crack open that instruction manual. How do these individual words actually link up to form bigger, more useful pieces? This is where phrase structure rules come in. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but the idea is actually really simple. Think of these as the key recipes in our Lego manual. They're just the specific instructions that say, okay, this kind of brick connects to that kind of brick, and it has to be in this order. They let us build the reliable components of our sentences. In fact, let's watch one of these rules in action right now. We're going to build a noun phrase, or NP. So we start with a basic noun brick, cats. Simple enough. The rule says we can pop an adjective in front of it, noisy cats. And then we can add a determiner, those noisy cats. And boom, just like that, we followed a simple recipe and turned 3 separate words into one solid unit, a noun phrase. Okay, so we've got our bricks, and we've got rules for snapping them together into phrases. Now let's take that final leap and see how this all comes together to create the hidden architecture of a whole sentence. This right here, this is what linguists call a sentence tree. It's the complete blueprint. And look at how it's organized. It's a hierarchy. Down at the very bottom, you've got your individual Lego bricks, the words. They group together to form phrases, like the noun phrase, the little boy, and another one, his dog. And then all those bigger components click together at the top to make the whole sentence. Believe it or not, every single sentence we say has a hidden structure just like this. And this brings us right back to where we started. The reason colorless green ideas sleep furiously feels right is because it fits perfectly into a valid blueprint, just like this one. Colorless green ideas is a perfectly formed noun phrase, and sleep furiously is a perfectly formed verb phrase. The architecture is solid, even if the interior decorating is, well, completely bonkers. So now we get the system. But this is where things get really fascinating.
When the system creates these little glitches, these moments where a single sentence can actually hide more than one secret blueprint inside it. Which leads to a really interesting question. What happens when the exact same string of words can be built in two different ways, following two completely different but totally valid sets of instructions? Check out this classic example. I saw a man with a telescope. Think about that for a second. Who has the telescope? Am I using it to look at him, or is he the one holding it? The sentence works both ways because it can be built in two different ways. So in the first interpretation, the phrase with a telescope is describing how I saw. It's attached to the verb saw. So the meaning is, I used a telescope to see some guy. I'm the one with the telescope. But in the second interpretation, the phrase with a telescope is describing the man. It's attached to the noun. And suddenly, the meaning is completely different. I saw a man, and that man happened to be carrying a telescope. The same words create two totally different images in your head. This whole phenomenon has a name. It's called syntactic ambiguity. It's not that the words themselves are ambiguous, it's that the sentence structure can be put together in two different valid ways. It's like using the exact same Lego bricks to build two different models. And this leads us to the last and maybe the most mind-bending part of syntax, recursion. This is this incredible ability to take a structure and embed it inside another structure of the exact same kind. The best way to think about it is like those Russian nesting dolls, but for language. Here's what I mean. You can start with a noun phrase, the book. Simple. But you can add another phrase to it, the book on the shelf. But wait, the shelf is also a noun phrase, so you can do it again, the book on the shelf in the room. And you can just keep going. In the house, on the street. You could literally do this forever. This one simple but powerful property is what allows us to generate an infinite number of sentences from a limited set of rules and words. So syntax is this incredible, invisible architecture that governs our language, making everything from basic structure to mind-bending ambiguity and infinite creativity possible. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? If our sentences are built on such a complex and elegant hidden blueprint, what other parts of our world, from nature to society, are also running on hidden rules we just haven't discovered yet?